Brothers, what's happening, my friends? Hope everybody's doing good. Hope your streaks are strong, intact. Hope everybody is having a good holiday weekend. Good weekend with your families. Good weekend with your people. Or if that's you right now, with you, growing and mastering yourself. Sometimes I believe it's necessary for us to go through seasons where it's just us. You know, we really limit our contact with the outside world, with people that aren't on the same path as us, on the same journey. I think for a season that's important for us to really cultivate our energy, to build up our energy, um, to understand ourselves more, to master ourselves, to master our own energy. Also, not be affected by the opinions of others, the influences of others. You know, especially on this path, man, on SR. As you go, it gets stronger in you. But sometimes when we're starting out, sometimes it's hard to stay locked in line with the importance of semen retention, with the importance of this journey. And if you have a lot of outside voices, that aren't on the same journey as you, promoting lifestyles that are energy draining, promoting lifestyles that are just draining, man. Draining, chasing stimulation, chasing dopamine, chasing things that are empty. Sometimes a lot of these voices can steer us off the road when we're not strong enough yet. So it's a very real thing, man. It's just something we have to be aware of. With who's speaking in our life and who we're allowing to influence us, and who we keep in our close circle. It's very important. It's very important. The mind is so tricky that sometimes when we're hearing something a lot in the outside, it can become true for us as well. It can cause doubt. Seeds of doubt get planted that cause us to question our path, that cause us to question things. And so, just a reminder to take a look at your life and who is influencing you. Because for me, I know for a long time I was very easily influenced by others. If somebody looked like they had it together, if somebody looked like if somebody had just had some charisma, confidence, a lot of ego, I was very drawn to that because I was so insecure. I was so empty within myself. I was drawn to others who seemed like they had it together, who seemed like they had the answers. And so, I spent a lot of time in the recovery scene and for drug and alcohol recovery, a lot of rehabs. Spent a lot of time in Christian circles and religious circles. Spent a lot of time in self-help groups, stuff like that. And it wasn't all bad. There was a lot of things I took from it. It was essential for my journey at the time. But there comes a point on SR when we have to trust our inner voice above all, trust our intuition above all. Because we have a very unique path that is our own, that nobody else, people can help us along the way. People can support us. People can encourage us and stuff like that and give good advice. But for me, I didn't understand what it meant to just listen to somebody or just to consider what somebody was saying. They said it with a certain amount of confidence. If they said it in a certain way, I would really weigh it against what I'm doing. I'm saying it would weigh heavy on me, and I would believe it. And so, it's important for us, especially early on in this SR process, to really beware of who we are around and who we're letting influence us, as well as guarding our energy. We always talk about, and the bottom line of SR is it's an energy game. This is all an energy game. And so, day to day, how we improve is by, getting our habits right, making sure we're not indulging in anything that's draining us, and we are indulging in things that are benefiting us. We are building ourselves up, building our character, building our body, building our mind. So, it's important for us to really respect the energy that this practice gives. And there's levels to it where you realize things that are taking energy from you, belief systems that just aren't that don't ring true for you anymore, that you outgrow. You know, don't stay stuck in a belief system that maybe you're questioning something right now. Maybe you're questioning um, something maybe you've been taught since you were young, or something that you've always believed. Maybe as you go on this path, you start questioning that. You start having a lot of confusion around that, a lot of doubt around that, and you just wonder, is this really benefiting my life? Is this really the truth? Is this really bringing me to a better place in life? Or is this holding me back? Is this keeping me enslaved? Is this keeping me small? We have great power within us, brothers. We have the power of kings within us, you know, and it's important to be humble. It's important to be humble in a way where we don't think ourselves better than other people. We don't look down on people. Um, we don't treat people with outright disrespect and stuff like that, but we have to value ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Being humble doesn't mean that you put everybody else first, and you don't mean, that your needs don't matter. Your needs do matter. And that's another part of this journey, is bringing the emotions back online. You know what I'm saying? Coming back into line with our emotions and who we are, and our inner self and our inner child, and learning to put our needs first, learning um, to get our needs met. And I say that because a lot of us on this path, man, we're born into families where we were taught that it wasn't okay to have needs. We were taught that other people's needs come first. We were taught that other people matter more than us. We were just taught to just walk the line. Just keep your head down. Just don't say anything. Take care of yourself. And we really had to fend for ourselves emotionally, energetically. We really had to figure out a lot of life by ourselves. And so, um, if I'm speaking to you, if that rings true, part of our journey is to come back in alignment with our emotions and our inner self. I see a lot of similarities in the comments to what I've gone through, with feeling a lot of emptiness, not knowing your purpose, not knowing who you are, that kind of thing. And a lot of that comes from having our energy and our resources drained, um, from people who raised us, people in our lives, who taught us to think a certain way, who maybe instilled a lot of guilt in us, maybe instilled a lot of religious programming, or um, just made it unsafe to express our emotions, and made it unsafe to have needs. So, um, I just gotta keep talking about this stuff because this has been my life, and so if it helps you, that would really honor me and bless me, um, because I wish I heard this stuff a little earlier in my life. I think I had to go through everything I had to go through, but it would have been nice, because I lived in confusion for a long time. I lived in a lot of confusion, not knowing who I was, and just constantly running to stimulation and dopamine, and constantly running to corn and lust, and constantly running to drugs and alcohol, all these kind of things, to just escape the confusion that was me, that was my life. That I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know why I was here. I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to manage my emotions. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know so many things. So as I come back in alignment with that, as I'm growing, as this energy is building day by day, as I'm on the path of everlasting life, and abundance, I have to bring these things up, the things that I've gone through, things that maybe you guys are struggling with, or have struggled with, and can relate to, because it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process as our consciousness is renewed, as our consciousness is leveling up, is upgrading. We come to new levels of dealing with different traumas and different um, wounds, different negative energies, negative programming within us, that rises to the surface when we're ready. Our consciousness knows when we're ready to heal it. And so if you're at a place where you're very empty, where you maybe want to do some healing, but don't really know where to start. That was me, man. Like I wanted to heal for a long time, but I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know where to begin. I was just a void, just emptiness, just numb, empty, I had been um, betraying myself for so long. I'd been operating in a way where my needs came last. I've been operating in a way where um, other people were more important than me, and that it was weak. It was um, inconvenient for me to have needs, for me to take care of myself. And so, I had to overcome a lot of that. But all that to say is I didn't even know where to start, dude. I didn't even know where to start. And so, um, reflection. And for me, my biggest fear was sitting with myself, and not having anything to distract me, stimulate me. That was my biggest fear for a long time. Couldn't take it. I couldn't handle it because there was just so much confusion, so much doubt within me, so much misalignment. So, this path can put you on the road to healing a lot of that stuff, a lot of it. And so, like I was saying, as the energy builds, as we're transmuting, as our energy centers are powering up and we're coming back online, a lot of this stuff starts to come up, and it's in its rightful time. It's rightful time. So, if things aren't coming up for you yet, don't sweat it, man. Just keep retaining, keep doing your thing. It's going to come up when you're ready. As your consciousness is evolving. It really is. Even through relapses, even through through setbacks and downfalls, we're still evolving. As long as we never give up, as long as we want to stop this, as long as we want to be better and get on a better path, we're evolving. And put timelines on it, Um, that's it, man. You come to different levels of healing as the energy builds. We come to different levels of healing, and we have to go through those different levels when our consciousness is ready to. That's a part of surrendering to the inner healing process, surrendering to the fact that you can't just go online and look for this semen retention timeline where it's all going to be bam, 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 bam. We have our own journey to walk, brother. We have our own path to walk, and that's why it's beneficial to listen to other people's advice. It's you know it's not completely a waste, but we can't let that dictate how we're going to live our life. We can't let that dictate what our process is going to be like. We can't let that, we can't try to emulate that in our life because our path is totally different. And if we're trying to walk somebody else's path, we're going to keep setting ourselves back. I did it for years, man. Tried to, I had such low self-esteem and such a low sense of identity that I had to copy other people. I had to emulate other people. If I saw somebody that had what I wanted, I was going to do everything they were doing, and it never worked. Never worked. I might have looked a little better physically from a good workout routine or something like that. I might have been able to meditate a little longer, might have gotten a little better at breath work and stuff like that. Or just, whatever this routine was I was trying to follow. I might have been a little better at something or looked a little better, but at the end of the day, I couldn't keep it going. I would fall off. It wouldn't be genuine. It wouldn't be sincere. And, when it got hard, I would quit or I just fall back in my old ways because it wasn't my genuine path. So we have to walk our own genuine path, which means, having time for self-reflection, having time to sit with ourselves and really try to understand what's going on in our bodies and our minds, and really trying to listen for that intuition and feeling it as you go, like just day by day, just retaining, working out, eating better, like all this kind of stuff, better habits, meditation, breath work, all this kind of stuff. It helps. It all adds up and it helps. And slowly you start to cut off all the artificial stuff, all the bullshit dopamine, all the bullshit, all the screen time, all this kind of stuff. It slowly starts to fade away because it doesn't interest you anymore. And that's when the focus goes inward. Focus goes inward more, and you're able to feel your intuition, your energy. You have a confidence that something is guiding you. And so, got to walk your own path, brother. You got to walk your own path. Nobody's got your answers for you. Nobody does. It's a good starting point. If you need a starting point and stuff like that, you can start with somebody else's path. But eventually, man, you got to start following your inner voice, your inner dialogue. Not even to mention, like, when things pop off in this world, whenever the great battle of our time comes, not to mention that we're going to need to be intuitionally locked in, spiritually locked in, to be able to hear what we need to do, to hear the moves that we need to make, while the rest of the world is in chaos, while everybody else is drowning in fear, while everybody else is desperate, you know? So there's an importance to this path, man. We're not just here just trying to be better so we can, look better for society, or like, you know, just a self-improvement thing. Yeah, it is. It's self-improvement, and that's what we're doing. But there's such a grander picture here, man. There's such a bigger picture here of the call in your life, brother. There's a call in your life that this path will lead you to fulfilling. And we're not going to get there, man, by listening to the world. If we listen to the world, if we listen to people who don't have our best interest in mind, which is a lot of people, we're going to stay small. We're going to stay stuck. There's a lot of narcissistic people out there. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to see you rise, man. There's a lot of people out there that will pretend to help you, but really they're taking your energy. But really they are wanting to be seen as a leader or somebody who helps people. It's just their own ego. And so I'm not saying that's everybody. I'm just saying, man, through my experiences, there's a lot more of them out there that it doesn't seem, it might not be obvious, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't have your best interest in mind, man. And so, as it gets colder out here, as we actually enter the winter, we got to enter our winter arc as well. And that's my path this winter, is to really lock in, to really cut out anything in my life that's not benefiting me energetically, to cultivate, to take care of, to really guard this energy and let it build and continue to rise, and let this purpose unlock and be fulfilled. So, brothers, thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all your support. Thank you guys for watching these videos. And, I appreciate this little community we have going. This is real, man. This is real stuff. We're building up for something, and it's going to be an honor to walk alongside y'all. We're building a network here of men that are rising above the programming, rising above the bullshit. So, love you, brothers. Y'all take care.